I know.
Oh. We should do a Twitter.
Welcome back. Thank y'all for coming back and listening to us. You're listening to Who Runs the World with Allie Pruitt and Megan Waldron here on Radio DePaul Sports, the student voice of your DePaul Blue Demons. As y'all know, who runs the world? The answer is always girls. Before the break, we were talking about the MLB and whether or not they should shorten their season after Anthony Rizzo came out and said that he thinks that they should shorten the season. He knows people will have to take a pay cut, but he's fine with it because you should play the game for the love of the game anyway. So we discussed it a little bit. Obviously, my opinion was to shorten the season, shortening it from the beginning so that we get more of a break for the MLB players, a longer spring training, and starting the season mid-May. That is my suggestion. Megan sort of agreed with me, but understands the, history behind it. But now we're going to get into another topic within the MLB, because last night the White Sox were playing the Oakland A's in Oakland, and they went 14 innings, tying it up in the ninth. There were 2 outs left, and yeah, I mean, it was crazy. But quick shout out, because we were just talking about it before the break, before we get into this. My cousin Mick's on here. A shout out to my cousin, Lauren Gazecki, because she is the head golf coach at Grand Canyon University, and they won the WAC championship yesterday. So shout out to her. Such a proud cousin.
I watched the video, and it was so inspiring. It was so encouraging.
Y'all go watch the video. If you're not my friend on Facebook, go add me.
Go watch it. It's so cool. It's just awesome to see, a group of individuals come together and just achieve something so much bigger than themselves.
She's awesome. Yeah. She's a boss.
So dope.
So yeah, shout out to her. But okay, back to the MLB. Had to get that out real quick before the show's over. But back to the MLB. So we're talking about, this 14-inning game. White Sox tied it up in the ninth, 2 outs to go, and they ended up playing 14 innings. Okay, so
too long.
James Shields, who's a starting pitcher for the White Sox, was set to start in a couple of games here, had to come in and pitch in the 14th inning because they were running out of pitchers. And so now he's going to have to miss his start because he's, pitched his pitches, right? So he's going to have to miss his next start because of this. So, in regards to this idea of 14 innings, there's no end till baseball, you play until it's over, you know what I mean? It can be controversial. And one of the things that some of the minor leagues are doing is after the 10th inning, so you get 1 extra inning, both teams get a go. If nobody scores, in the 11th, they're putting a runner on second base. I
like it.
And then so you have a runner in scoring position. So that is an option. But as far as the length of baseball, these extra innings, what do you do about it? Do you keep it? Do you leave it? I mean, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm just trying to get this straight. So you're saying that an option is to put a runner in scoring position
so think of like hockey, for instance. Hockey plays, their overtime minutes, and then if nobody scores, eventually they go into that shootout. So it's like that's kind of how hockey does it. And then you think of football, it's whoever scores first, right? You know what I mean? So it's like if you score, you get one more shot, and then that's it. So every,
soccer has kind of like the hockey.
The PK. I mean, basketball.
Overtime.
You keep playing overtime, I guess.
So
but, in basketball, it's a constant scoring. The odds of you consistently being tied for 5 overtimes, is rare. Whereas baseball, it's not just, you got to open shot. It's you have to get a runner all the way around. So that's why a lot of these games go 12, 13, 14, 15 innings.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy to say that you were at that game, but personally, I think that, it has to have that runner in scoring position in order to speed up the game and get that win. Just because, I don't know, it seems like a long time, and personally, I don't know, I think it should be shorter. What do you think?
This is a hard one.
Really?
I do.
Yeah.
Because I think it should be shorter because of the fact that you're like almost messing up the game of baseball for the games after it, because now it's like they're gonna have to call up players from AAA to fill this roster because their pitchers aren't ready, you know.
That reminds me of like the NBA when like their bench falls out by the time like of the fourth overtime, so they have to use players that haven't played all season. I kind of like that aspect,
you know, but it's in baseball it's a lot different because it's not like, well, we're just gonna use you for this, you know,
right?
Whatever, you know, it's
little
like
brief time,
right? In baseball, if you're coming up to pitch, like, you pitch, you know what I mean? Like, you can't pitch the next game, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not fair. Like, for James Shields to have to come in the 14th inning yesterday, he pitches an inning. I don't remember the exact number of pitches he pitched, but, you know, he goes in, he pitches, and now he lost his start, you know? So it's like, is that worth it? You know what I mean? A game in 14 innings, and then it's like, then they lost, and it's like, well,
I don't think it is worth it for the players or the fans.
Yeah, and I mean, like, yesterday, a game this early in the season, by the end of that game yesterday in Oakland, there was nobody there. You know what I mean? Everyone's just kind of like, whatever. You know, when we were talking about it, it's like, a lot of people, even at home, would just turn the TV off. You know, I mean, there's been so many baseball games. Yesterday, the White Sox game started at 2 o'clock or 2 something. And so they were over, but it was a 5-hour game. The Cleveland Cavaliers game, the Cleveland Pacers game, started when there was 2 outs in the 8th inning of this baseball game and finished before the baseball game was over.
That's what I like about basketball.
Finished, people! Finished.
I mean,
sports. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm all down for sports and knowing exactly the time frame.
Yeah.
It's funny, my roommates, softball girls, we've had discussions among our sports, basketball versus softball, and they made a comment one time. It's interesting how basketball has to compete against the clock. They're so not used to that. Like, they just find that so unique in a way. Like,
it is unique to each sport, you know, and it is unique to baseball that you're not competing against this clock. But you know, I'm not saying. I don't think. I mean, there's always been this argument of, should, you know, the batters get less time in between pitches? You know, you can't go fix your gloves 18 times. You know, you can't, like, spit around in a... You know how they all have their, like, batting routine. Right. I don't think you need all that. No, you know what I mean?
And the pitchers take forever.
They do take forever, but the 5 seconds you would shave off is not worth it to me. Let them fix their gloves. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that is not as big of a deal to have these guys doing their little in-game routines. That time frame, you're going to shave off 20 minutes maybe at the end of it, you know? So it's like, that to me isn't worth it. What is worth it would be, okay, we're not going to play 17 innings. You know what I mean? Like, that's a little excessive. So I think, yes, you need to shorten the game at the end, but you don't need to try to, all right, 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, everybody out. No, no, that is what is unique to baseball.
Right.
That you're not competing against the clock.
Right, yeah.
So that's what I like. But when you're looking at this overtime aspect of these games, these extra innings of baseball, then yes, we need to come up with something because, oh God. I mean, that's crazy, 14 innings.
Also, like, to go off of, like, earlier, kind of, like, pitching is, you know, hard on your arm. I was having this conversation, I'm like, to the softball girls, I'm like, why do you guys pitch underhand? Why do baseball players, pitch overhand? And they're like, honestly, actually, we're the smart ones because that's...
Your shoulder.
Yeah, because throwing a baseball is not normal for normal your body. Yeah.
But, like, so that's how baseball pitchers pitch, right? Like, that's not normal motion.
But that's their fault.
Pitching. Well, they can. That's just the game of baseball.
I know. But, like, why did they do that?
It's just the game. I mean, what are you going to go back in 300 years
I
and
just
ask
want to know, like, who said softball and baseball will be different? Like, it pisses me off in a sense. Because, like, underhand throwing, like, oh. But, like, I don't know. And, like, there's no mound in softball.
Because you're pitching underhand.
Right.
Could you imagine doing that from up high?
No, it makes sense, but, like, why is there a difference? Like, why?
I mean, men play softball, too.
Yeah.
You know?
Just not in the
It's just, like, another game, but, I mean, in baseball, so, yes, you're pitching in an abnormal motion, so it hurts the players to be playing these 15 innings.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
100%, and, I think baseball, like, needs to address some of the... issues they have, but at least it's revolving the game, whereas the NFL seems to have so many issues that are revolving, like, just like health issues and
Yeah.
you know, like so many I don't even know what the word is for it, but like there just seems so many issues that are unrelated to football that has hurt it in so many ways. I'm glad that this conversation we're having among baseball is about the game itself and how to improve it. And although it's, you know, doing well, like it's for sure fun to watch sometimes. But
she hates it.
I'm trying to get more into it because the minute you do get into it, it actually
you do get into it.
You know, but. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see if there will be changes made. I don't know if there will be in the next couple of years, to be honest.
All right, you guys. If you have any opinions on the baseball topics we talked about today, being A, should MLB shorten the season? And B, do you think the MLB should do something about extra innings and making it different in a sense? Slide in the DMs. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your thoughts. We'll definitely be talking about this some more. Maybe some changes will come about. But this is a never-ending conversation. But if you're just now tuning in, you're listening to Who Runs the World with Allie Pruitt and Megan Waldron. And we decided today that we are going to give you our top five athletes of all time. From this, you're going to learn a little bit about us because every athlete, I'm a firm believer that who your favorite athletes are, tell a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, no, for
sure. So, Megan. Who's your number one?
I think we should go 5-1.
Okay. Oh, suspense!
Okay, so,
You're listening to Megan Waldron's top 5 athletes. We are starting with number 5.
Yes.
Drum roll. All right, what do you got?
Okay, so I have Jenny Fitch. And it's interesting because I feel like...
number 5.
Yeah, number 5. And she's a softball player, if people do not know. I actually don't know that much about her, to be honest. I just remember when I was younger hearing about this softball player that was so well known. Like, it was a household name in a sense. And I just know softball in general doesn't get a great following or audience, you know, in a sense. So the fact that she was able to establish this... dynamic profile for herself and to help the game of softball grow.
Yeah.
And also just the level. Like, I always think it's so crazy, like, how she's at this elite level already and she still manages to gravitate higher than that. Like LeBron James. Like, he's playing with the best of the best and he's on another level. And so I think it's just so cool that Jenny Fitch, did so much for the game of softball. And also, she's very feminine, and I always like that about her, too. Like, she embraced both sides of herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Who's your 5th?
We got to do all your 5.
No, wait, no.
We do. People are going to get confused. Megan.
Okay.
Megan's 4th.
Okay, my 4th is Aly Raisman.
She got a lot of women on here, y'all. I'm so proud. Okay.
What'd you say?
A lot of female athletes. I love it.
Oh, I did all female. I remember you. Sorry, I did all female. Yep, I'm empowering the females today.
She's awesome.
So Aly Raisman, just because she's so amazing at what she does. Like, I think she's someone that wasn't necessarily born with the talent like Simone Biles has or LeBron James has or, some of these players have. Like, Jenny Fitch, I think, was very talented. I think she just works at her craft every single day, and I just admire that about her, as well as her, like, strength outside of the gymnastics arena. Like, with this Larry Nassar, like, she is fierce, and I think that's what I admire most about her, is her fierceness and the way that she works at her craft, and she's a good teammate and a good leader.
Love it. Number 3,
I have Candace Parker.
Yes!
Did you know she went to Naperville Central?
I feel like I didn't know that.
Yeah, so... I don't know, I just feel like, once again, household name, just a crazy, you know what's crazy? Back in the day, there wasn't social media. So the fact that, like, I knew about her, like, social media, I think, helps these players immensely.
Yes.
Skylar Diggins, I think, would be a bigger name if she was in the era more of social media. But anyway, Candace Parker was just so dynamic and was one of the first girls, I think, to dunk in a high school game. So just, once again, another player who just separated themselves from the greats.
Love it. Number 2, we're getting closer to number 1, y'all. Her favorite athlete of all time.
So number 2, I'll have Serena Williams. I think she is literally a beast.
Phenomenal.
I think she is so powerful, and that just is incredible, so competitive, yet humble. And Serena Williams could also be my first, and it's actually been a recent, like, I've been I didn't know about her when I was younger, to be honest, because I've never played tennis in my life. But as I've gotten older, I've respected her more and more, like her championships and her ability to get back to that final round and to, not crack under pressure. And she's just an amazing athlete.
All right, what we've all been waiting
Yes.
for, Megan Waldron's number one favorite athlete of all time.
So this is like very personal. So this is like Mia Hamm.
I love her.
Because she was like the first athlete in my life where I'm like, oh my goodness, like this girl is my idol. Like I still remember I was like 4th grade and I got a poster of Mia Hamm. And I got, like, a jersey. I was just obsessed with her. Like, I don't even know if I really watched her as much when I was younger. I just knew she was a great soccer player. And she kind of had this, like, all-American vibe to her, in a sense. Like, she didn't look crazy athletic. She just seemed like a competitor.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's something about her. And I still am so in awe of her and everything that she did for the 99ers. I also think that's another thing. She was so young on that team. And she was like this young stud showing up on the biggest stage. So, yeah, I want to hear yours, though. I'm excited.
All right. I'm putting mine in here so you don't forget.
Yeah.
All right. Allie Pruitt's favorite athletes of all time. I hope y'all are listening. I'll always tell y'all again if you want to know. But number 5.
Number 5.
Skylar Diggins.
Skylar Diggins. Okay.
Yes.
Good pick.
She, I think in my generation, is that athlete that was kind of up and coming.
Right.
She was at Notre Dame when I was, back in high school. So being able to watch her play, watch her succeed, watch her be so successful, she's like done so many things, and she has done a lot with the media, and she's very outspoken. I love that about her. I love, obviously, how she plays the game, how she carries herself, what she stands for, who she stands for, and she just is a very humble athlete who still supports everything where she came from and what she's about. So that is my female athlete of the year for Allie Pruitt. I love the way she plays the game.
And, to go off of that, she stayed in her hometown and made Notre Dame a prestigious school, and I think that's why they won the national championship this year. I think Skylar Diggins had a lot to do with that, because the minute she committed
she led the way.
She changed the program. They could get those high recruits after her.
Yeah, she's just phenomenal. So I love Skylar Diggins. She's my 5. Number 4, don't laugh at me, y'all. Dennis Rodman.
Really?
Back in the day, that you either loved him or you hated him. But that whole Detroit Pistons bad boys thing, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I love the way, I don't like that they try to kill people,
right.
But I love the competitiveness and the hustle of the game back then. And if you've seen the 30 for 30 on the bad boys of Detroit, Dennis Rodman's story is so unique, and he is just a unique guy, as we all know. But his story is so unique. He didn't really have anything. He, found his family in this program, and, he really was, now he's kind of different, but he played the game so well.
Yes.
And
bless you.
Sorry. Excuse me. But he played the game so well.
Yes.
And his personality is just so intrinsic to me, and I just love the man. I just want to take him in, invite him to Christmas. I feel like he'd make everything so fun. Yeah. And I'm a big fan of that era of basketball, back in the Bad Boys era. So he's my number 4. My number 3, go Pack Go, baby. Y'all know, or if you don't know, I'm a huge Packer fan. And so you can guess my number 3, Aaron Rodgers.
I thought you were going to say Brett Favre.
Oh, God, no.
Really?
Aaron Rodgers has made the Packers who they are. Yes, we have Brett Favre, whatever, but he, as long as we have Aaron Rodgers, we'll be all right. And I love him. He'll always be a top 5 quarterback for as long as he plays. He's up there with Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. That is what he will go down as.
Wow.
I love watching him play. The passes he makes, the way he reads the ball. He knows when to, run and just gain that extra yardage. He knows when to pass. He has these connections with so many of his receivers. I just love it. Now, if he breaks a collarbone again, I still feel it. Sometimes I'm like, ow. But I might cry.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's how sad I am that Aaron Rodgers didn't play.
Are your fans liking your picks?
Yeah, great show, ladies. Really enjoyed the debate. Thank you. Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers, he is my number 3. My number 2.
Number 2. We're getting closer.
Javi Baez.
As a player or as a model?
I love him as a player. Okay,
Yeah.
I really do. His swag, what he brings to the game of baseball, makes people want to watch baseball.
Yeah.
And I know there was this whole debate recently about Javi Baez and the bat flip, right? You know, and if he should have flipped his bat. For Christ's sakes, let him flip it. I don't care. What is the difference between flipping a bat and breaking a bat over your leg?
Right.
What is the difference? There is no difference.
Yeah, this is how he dances through life. He gives his little style to it.
Exactly. So that is my number 2. The swag he brings to the game, the hustle. I mean, at the beginning of the season, Javi was asked who will be the MVP of the Cubs this year. His answer was me. He is a hustle player on both the defense and the offensive side. Sometimes he swings a little too much for the fences, but we'll talk, Javi. We'll talk. But the way he hustles in the field, he just gets every ball. You know, if it's coming his way, he's going to get it. I mean, he rarely makes errors, and I love that about him. And my number 1, my favorite athlete of all time, it will never change, Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe. I love you, man. I love you. And he will always be my favorite athlete of all time. He'll always be my favorite NBA player of all time. Kobe brought the Mamba mentality to life. He really did. And it's just something about him and the way he played the game, what he brought to the game, what he brought to LA, the championships, I'll never forget it. One of my favorite memories is being in California when the Lakers were playing the Celtics. The Lakers won the championship that year, the NBA championship, and it was so cool to be in the city. I think I was like 12 years old, 13 years old.
Okay.
And I just love Kobe. I mean, my basketball shoes that I play in are the Kobe 9s. I love them. I have like 7 pairs of Kobe's. I just love the man. I love the way he plays. He'll always be my favorite.
He's like one of the biggest competitors I've ever been
Yes.
of. He seems to
I never got to watch him in person, and that is my greatest
Really?
regret in life. Maybe
Oh.
he'll play 3-on-3 with me.
You know, I actually went to his farewell game at the Chicago Bulls game. Yeah, someone gave me tickets, so I got to see the farewell. Like, you know, because like he was like on like a tour. Like every arena was like
I
honoring
am
him.
so jealous.
It was cool. It was really cool. I like how he supports female sports. He has 3 daughters.
Yeah.
And like he loves UConn, so he'll be at those games.
I love Kobe. I just love him.
He's like motivational in every aspect of like whatever you do in life to be the best at what you do. Like he seems to want to perfect his craft.
Yeah.
Once I've used that reference before, and he just seems like he's willing to do whatever it was going to take.
I love it. So, y'all have heard our top 5 favorite athletes here on Who Runs the World from Allie Pruitt and Megan Waldron. What are your top 5 favorite athletes? We want to know.
Yeah.
So, hit us up. Who are your top 5 favorite athletes? You can give it to us in any order, 1 to 5, 5 to 1. It doesn't matter. We want to know who y'all are fans of, and we'll give you a shout out next show. But now we're going to start. This is a new tradition on here, Who Runs the World. We're doing the random questions of the day. So this is what's going to happen. Megan's going to ask me 5 questions, and I'm going to answer them super quick. I'm going to ask her the same 5 questions. She's going to answer them super quick, and then we'll delve into a little bit about why we said what we said. So for the most part, they're yes or no questions or one-sentence questions.
Yep.
So
I'll ask you first.
We'll do this. Every week we'll have different questions, and as always, I want to know what y'all think. So here we go.
Okay. So,
I don't want to look at him, so I don't know. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so would you consider a NASCAR driver an athlete?
Yes.
Really? Okay, should girls be able to play football?
Yes.
Why do you... Oh, wait, no, I'm not going to do that one. What is your opinion of CrossFit?
It's a sport.
What sport should be generating more attention? Like, it's fun to watch and no one seems to know about it.
Boxing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Those are the 4. I had to cross out one because we talked about it earlier.
Okay.
The softball one.
Is NASCAR a sport and are the drivers athletes?
No.
Should girls play football?
No.
Opinion of CrossFit. Sport, no sport.
It's bad for your body, and I think it's a sport.
What's a sport that should generate the most attention?
Rowing. I just joined rowing.
Awesome. All right. Is NASCAR a sport? I said yes.
Yeah, wait.
Megan said no. We'll be doing an Instagram poll in about 30 seconds when we log off this show because I got to know. Is NASCAR a sport?
Or are the drivers athletes? Because I think it's a sport. I don't think the drivers are athletes, if that makes sense.
Why not?
Because they're not doing anything athletic. Everyone drives cars.
But, like, at that speed? With that strategy?
I don't think they're...
I'm going to just tell you right now, if I had to drive... I mean, I'm a pretty fast driver. For anybody who knows me, who's been in the car with me, you will contest to this, that I'm a fast driver. But if I had to go 100 miles an hour and then pull in and get gas, like, I can barely pull in and get gas when I'm going 2 miles an hour. I, like, got to back up, go forward. But I'm like...
But here's the thing. I'm not a great Describe driver. An athlete. Like, what is an athlete? Like, describe that word for me. Should we Google it? I'm going to get the definition.
What do y'all think? Are NASCAR drivers athletes? Is NASCAR a sport?
So it says a person who is proficient in sports and other forms of physical exercise.
It is. You're like, you have to mentally be, like, focused. You have to drive.
I don't know. I think it's so interesting because, okay, NASCAR sport, yeah, but, like, I don't think that they're using their body in any way. Like, how do you even train for NASCAR? Like, do they go to the gym and
lift weights? They do. I mean, you can't be, like, 800 pounds driving a car.
Right, like, you have to maintain your healthy diet and, like, be somewhat slim to fit in the car. But I don't think it takes. I don't think it takes any strength or any. Like, also, like, how hard is it to turn? Is it that hard? Like, maybe I should try, because...
You guys, Megan and I are going to take a field trip one of these weekends. We're going to go to, like, a drag racing, and we're going to... We'll videotape it. We'll make a pop.
Wow.
We're doing this because we got to see.
You have all the time in the world.
Well, I'll make time. Okay, next question. We only got a couple minutes left. Should girls be able to play football? I said yes. Megan said no.
But I was salty about my answer. I just think that I think girls could play football, but I think why is there even a need to play girls? I think there should be separate leagues and girls have their own football league. If that, like Powder Puff, in an example.
I am a firm believer that the first female athlete in a male professional sport will be in the NFL, and she will be a kicker.
I don't think it ever needs to be a thing. Like, someone once made a comment, like, why do we want women and men to be in the same, type of subject? Because if you think about it, like, we're just born differently. We're, like, our genetics...
I get that. Here's my thing, though. For the NBA, you have the WNBA.
Right.
For baseball, you have softball.
Right.
For volleyball, you have volleyball.
Right.
For golf, you have golf. You know what I mean? Like, there are things. Football, you don't have that. So my belief is, if you want to play, like in high school, they can't tell girls no. They could tell me no. If I went and tried out for the boys' basketball team, they could say, Allie, you can't play this.
Right.
You can play for the women's team.
Right.
Football, they cannot tell me no because there is no female alternative. That is a Title IX rule. My thing is, if a girl wants to play football... Okay, is she going to be, like, the offensive lineman? No. You know what I mean? But, like, could she be a kicker? Could she be a quarterback? I mean, I know a lot of girls who could throw a football. Yeah. I know a lot of phenomenal soccer players who could really kick a football. So it's like...
I think actually...
By all means, go for it.
I agree with you, actually, now that you said it that way. If there's no alternative, then that's their only source to play this game. And actually, I think they could play offensive linemen. I think they could do anything out there.
I mean, I'm going to just tell you right now, if a 300-pound, 6'8" person...
But what if the girl is that big?
Where do you find them at? Sure.
Wait, if you think about it, there's girl rugby and boy rugby. Like, why isn't there a girl football league? Maybe we should start it.
Yeah, Megan and I are going to start a football league. Or just adding some great ideas today.
WNFL. Yeah, let's do it.
You heard it here first, y'all. We're trademarking that. Nobody take our idea.
Okay, so I just
Is CrossFit a sport? Next one.
And what's your opinion on it?
I think yes, and I think it's a sport. I mean, it's one of the hardest things in the world to do, to compete at that level, and I can't do it.
I think it's
Tried
so
it, can't
like.
do it.
Have you tried? Have you gone to a CrossFit
One of my
class?
best friends at home, Megan Ashley, she was tuned in here earlier. She's probably working now. She does CrossFit,
Yeah.
and when I go home, she makes me go, and
It's becoming a very hot
it's
trend.
hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's just like really heavy weights, you know, but like for a continuous amount of time. It's not like I'm gonna just pick this thing up once
Right.
and go home. Like,
Do you like to lift weights? I'm just curious.
yes, but like to tone up. I'm not like I don't
Yeah, like
need
heavy.
to get any. I'm not like looking for the
Our
gun show.
friend Kelsey, a little shout out,
Yeah.
is a great
Power
heavy
lifter.
lifter. Yeah,
Kelsey Brown, if you're listening,
Yeah.
shout out, girl. Yeah,
multiple like awards and
Yeah.
records.
yeah. All right, last question. Oh, she said you could do it. Megan, no, I can't. No, girl. I'm not very good at CrossFit. But Megan Ashley from Rockford, Illinois is phenomenal at it. Anyways, a sport that should generate more attention. Boxing was my answer.
Yes.
Megan said rowing. Megan is on the rowing team
You don't
here at
seem
DePaul.
happy about my choice.
I think it's hard.
No,
and
it's
like
so
a phenomenal.
hard.
It's a sport.
Yeah, it's
It is so cool to watch.
no, it really is.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't even kidding. Like it makes me want to watch rowing in the Olympics. But why'd you say boxing?
I think boxing is one of those sports that, you know, gets attention when it's like the one
Yeah.
big fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we talk about like the Conor McGregor,
Right.
like, oh, I'm gonna Floyd Mayweather this thing or whatever. But there's so many other phenomenal athletes, and I love to box. It's one of my favorite
You
things
really?
to do. Yes,
That's
and
awesome.
it's one of the best workouts. You have to be in such
Yeah.
good shape to do it. You have to like have endurance. You know what I mean? And it's so fun to watch. I mean, who doesn't want to watch people get hit? You know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
no,
I think it should get more attention. I think it should be not like we got one big fight. It should be, you know, like a more of a regular thing.
I agree. I think it's a cool fight, and like you said, it does have an audience. It does have a following. It's weird that it doesn't generate more attention. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of died down.
I know.
I always love boxing movies too.
I do too. Love
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
All right. Well, we are out of time here on Who Runs the World. What I'm gonna do as soon as we end this live video, I'm gonna ask y'all these four questions because we want to know what you think. We'll bring up your answers next week on Who Runs the World. We'll be back next Thursday at 10:30 a.m. back to our normal time in our normal studio in the Loop. So walk past us if you're in the DePaul Center. Wave to us. Bring us some breakfast, whatever you feel like doing. And we'll be back. But I'm going to ask all these 4 questions on Instagram Live. So, not live. On Instagram poll. So make sure you go and vote in those. We will go over those answers next week. And this is our new, we got to come up with a cool tagline for this. But this is our new thing. So at the end of every show, we're going to ask each other 5 questions. We're going to come back with quick answers and then explain it to end it off. So I hope y'all enjoy this new segment we have here, and we can't wait to hear what y'all have to think and say about these topics. So thank y'all for tuning in. As always, if you have any thoughts, comments, advice, anything you want to just vent to us, you just call. So we'll be back next Thursday, 10:30 a.m. on Who Runs the World. It's been Allie Pruitt. And I always gotta shout Megan Waldron as she's putting her on.
What's up?
And Megan Waldron. We are out. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We will be back next week. Y'all have a beautiful Thursday and a happy weekend.
I was gonna say Happy New Year. Ooh, that was fun. Also, did you see?
Bye, y'all.
Oh.